Hello. My name is Angel O'Neill. I'm in Dr. Blair's immunology class, and for my video project, I'm going to be doing a PowerPoint rather, on how to identify blood types and their origins. To start off, for the origin of blood types, there is no specific time or date when the blood types were found. Blood type A is the oldest known to man, however. It's said to have existed before the human species evolved from its hominoid ancestors, and blood type B is actually a close second to it, which is thought to have originated some 3.5 million years ago, around like the dinosaur times, from a genetic mutation that modified one of the sugars that sits on the surface of the red blood cells. Type O blood was created from a mutation that occurred while rendering the sugar gene in blood type B inactive, and this blood type has neither an A or B sugar on it. Blood type is determined by a gene that determines ABO blood type, and it is located on the chromosome number 9, and it is called the ABO glycosyltransferase. The ABO locus has 3 main allelic forms, and each one of them is responsible for the production of its own glycoprotein. And it is the combination of alleles inherited from parents that determines which glycoproteins, or antigens, you can call them antigens, are found on a person's blood cells and their blood type. Our individual blood types come from our parents. During your time in the womb, you will have formed your blood type, and each biological parent of yours donates one of 2 ABO genes to the child, and the A and B genes are dominant while the O gene is recessive. There are 4 main blood types that we know of. That's AB, and O. Type A blood has only the A antigen on the red blood cells. It also has the B antibody in the plasma, so they're like switched basically. People with this blood type, they say, are often compassionate, organized, efficient, and leaders. That has nothing to do with anything in this PowerPoint. It was just a fun fact. They are highly susceptible to high cortisol levels, and they take longer to recover from any kind of stress that they might endure. Type B blood only has the B antigen on the red blood cells, and it has the A antibody in the plasma. Again, fun fact, people with this blood type are more susceptible to gastroenteric cancers, and it has one of the rarest Rh factors among the population. Type AB blood has both A and B antigens on the red blood cells, but neither A nor B antibody in the plasma. So it's the rarest blood type, and people with AB blood inherited from an A gene parent and a B gene from another. Based on the number of people with A and B blood types, the odds of that particular combination happening are very, very low, and it's simply lower than any other possibility of any other blood type. Type O blood has neither A nor B antigens on the red blood cells, but it has A and B antibodies in the plasma. It is the most important blood type. It is a universal blood type. I am O myself. I don't know if I'm positive or negative, but yeah. About 43% of Americans have type O blood. So it's more along one of the most popular blood types, I would say. And heart disease is lower with type O blood, and type O blood can donate red blood cells. The Rh factor, or the rhesus factor, comes from rhesus monkeys in which the protein was first discovered. The rhesus factor is genetically inherited from your parents as well. It's a type of protein on the surface of the red blood cells, and it's going to determine if you're AB positive, AB negative, A positive, A negative, anything like that. And the antigen is either present, positive, or absent, negative. It's determined by mixing in anti-Rh serums when they test your blood. If the blood cells stick together when the serum is added, the person is Rh plus. If not, then the person is Rh negative. Your Rh factors during pregnancy. It's important to know your rhesus factor when you're pregnant. The doctors will ask you about it and everything like that when you go into the doctor. If you are rhesus negative and become pregnant with a rhesus positive baby, incompatibility can occur. With incompatibility, the woman's immune system reacts and creates antibodies against the rhesus, and these antibodies help drive an immune system attack against the baby, which the mother's body views as a foreign object, and that can lead to miscarriages. Incompatibility only happens if the father of the baby is Rh positive and the mother is Rh negative. Blood type incompatibility. Incompatibility of blood types is thought to be an accident of evolution. There's no real proof that it was on purpose. Sugars are, in fact, what makes the blood types incompatible. Say if a person has type B blood and they were given blood from a type A donor, the immune system would recognize these foreign sugars from the A blood and prompt an attack, and this could lead to inflammation and everything like that, and it can cause your body to shut down on you. Evolutionary cause of blood types appears to be disease. For example, type O blood is prominent in Africa, and malaria is prominent, like very, very, very prominent there, as we all know. And it appears to be one of the main selective forces behind the type O blood. And this suggests that blood types carry some sort of evolutionary change behind them. Cells infected with malaria do not stick well to type O or type B blood cells. And these infected cells are more likely to stick to cells with A sugars on them and form clumps known as rosettes, which can be very, very deadly if they form in organs such as your brain. And as a result of this, people with type O blood get less sick when they are infected with malaria. On the other hand, people with type O blood may be prone to many other diseases that the blood cells can't really fend away from. On to blood transfusions. In 1900, Karl Landsteiner from the University of Vienna in Austria discovered why blood transfusions were successful in some people and very deadly in others. And he discovered that the ABO blood group system, by mixing red blood cells and serums of each of his staff, has a lot to do with why these transfusions were successful and deadly. He demonstrated that the serum of some people agglutinated or firmly stuck together to the red blood cells of others, and he identified these as A, B, and C, which was later named O for German on, meaning without or zero, and the fourth group, AB, was found in 1901. In 1930, Karl received the Nobel Prize for his work in physiology and medicine. Your blood type is tested in many ways, and it is done with monoclonal antibodies. During ABO typing, your blood cells are mixed with a serum. If your blood cells stick together when mixed with an anti-A serum, you have type A blood. If your blood cells stick together when mixed with an anti-B serum, you have type B blood. If your blood cells stick together when mixed with anti-A and anti-B, you have type AB. And if your cells do not stick together when anti-A and anti-B serums are added, you have type O blood. If you have type A blood, you can only receive blood from a type A and type O blood person. If you have type B blood, you can only receive blood types B and O. If you have type AB blood, you can only receive AB, and O blood, which is about all of them. And if you have type O blood, you can only receive type O blood. If you are Rh positive, you can receive Rh positive or Rh negative blood. But if you are Rh negative, you can only receive Rh negative blood. There are universal donors, and the universal donor is O positive blood. It can give to pretty much, not O positive, sorry, O negative. It can give to any blood type, but it can only receive from O negative. And that goes along with universal donors and universal receivers. O positive blood can give to all of the positive blood groups. So O positive, A positive, B positive, and AB positive. And you can receive blood from O positive and O negative. A positive blood can only give blood to A positive and AB positive blood. And it can only receive from A positive, A negative, O positive, and O negative. B positive can only give to B positive and AB positive blood types, and can only receive from B positive, B negative, O positive, and O negative blood. Excuse me. An AB positive person can only give to AB positive people. It is one of those blood types where it cannot mix with any other antibodies or anything like that, but it can receive from all blood types, meaning O positive, O negative, A positive, A negative, any of those. O negative blood, like I said, can give to any blood type, no matter B positive, B negative, anything like that. But like I said, it can only receive from O negative only. A negative blood can give to A negative, A positive, AB negative, and AB positive people, or whatever, and can only receive from A negative and O negative. B negative can give to B negative, B positive, AB negative, and AB positive, and can receive from B negative and O negative. And last but not least, AB negative can give to AB negative and AB positive, and you can receive AB negative blood from AB negative, A negative, B negative, and O negative people.